Amber, welcome back to Houston Life. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
A lot of people are in this situation. Maybe they're dating later in life, and the person they're dating happens to be a single parent. You're here to help us with the do's and don'ts of this situation. Starting with the idea that some people may have an issue with dating someone with kids.
No, it's true. I think it's really about being true to yourself. So you really have to ask yourself, do I really want to date someone with kids? And I would even go a little bit deeper. Like if you are older, for me, for example, I have empty nest. So if I dated somebody who had small kids, deal breaker. I can wait for grandkids at this point. So it's like, you got to talk about ages as well.
Okay, yeah, that's a conversation that needs to happen. Also, let's say you are in that relationship, one or both has kids. When does that intro happen? When's kind of the right time? Is there a right time?
It's really, it's like before you fall in love, you know, because you don't want to go all the way in love and then you're trying to introduce, because like blending families is like the hardest thing about getting remarried after with kids. But it's really right when you think like this could be the one, it's time to introduce. So not too soon, definitely build a relationship, give yourself like the first 90 days at least, get to know their friends, meet people, find out who they're around, and then introduce your kids, but not off the jump.
That introduction to, oh man, can be so tricky. And I remember, because I remember my mom got married for a second time. We can talk about that another time. But kids are really smart and perceptive, and you say they can spot a fake from a mile away.
God, if I can give you one tip, just be authentic. It's like we said, you know, animals and kids can always tell if it's not a good fit or good person. Listen to that first instinct, but be authentic. Some people try to buy the kids or do extra or be so extra. Don't do that. They can smell it. They can tell you're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
And be so extra, like that could be like too friendly or buying too many gifts or just being weird.
Or maybe it's, you know, one way when the parent is around and another way when that parent is not around.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think when your kids are trusting you in that moment of being honest, saying, I don't like this, I don't feel comfortable, you've got to listen to those kids.
And we've got it, and that's the reason I wanted to talk about this specifically, was because you see in the news so many kids getting hurt and abused by step parents. Snap up, wake up. You know, like, who are you leaving your kids with? So if your kids are telling you something, listen to your kid. The worst thing you can do, and you want your kid to hate you for life, don't listen to your kid.
Oh, wow. Well, okay, so let's say you're in a situation where you're dating someone, you have the child or children, but they seem a little bit unsure or leery of this new situation. That's a totally natural thing,
Normal,
right?
totally normal. You really need to appreciate those feelings of reservation. It's going to take time to blend a family, especially if they've not given up on the fact of the parents trying to get back together. So you have to go slow with them. This is not when you're totally single and you can just let lust rule and have fun. This is like, you really got to build the friendship yourself to have that foundation so it can last, but specifically to give the kids time to acclimate into the new situation.
And dating a single parent, you need to also have time and patience to know, saying, you know, this is split time. My kids have to do this, and, you know, you have to figure out what that balance is. You need to have patience on both sides.
And it's true, because a lot of times I recommend for single parents not to date non-single parents unless they're like a totally compassionate person, because you do have those times where my kid, I have to go to this game, I have to go to this school thing, I have to go here, and a lot of people can get jealous
that they're like second.
And understand that you always will be. That is their kid, that is their blood. They're going to pick them first. But if you ever get married, then that's when the dynamics change. But that is over time. But you definitely want to just let them be a little leery at first, you know? They're gonna be, it's normal. Just do it slow and let them have time.
Something we haven't yet spoken about is how the ex comes into play.
Sure.
Let's say the ex-spouse, they are a co-parent for your children. You're starting to date again. What if your ex doesn't want your children hanging out with this new person you're dating?
And actually, by law, you know, depending on your divorce decree, they can demand those kind of things. Like, you can't be alone with you can't have another person of the opposite sex in the house. You can't have their kids around. You can't take them around this person. Like, they literally can put that in the divorce decree that you can't be around other people. So, and you can't move out of state. There's so many things you can't do. So it's really good about going back to, if you are getting married again, the best tip to give the parent is slow down, build the friendship so that if you do get divorced, you can be amicable.
Yeah, again, communication. You got to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
let's say you're really clicking with this new person, but the kids just are not having it. You've taken the time.
Yeah.
You feel like you've gone slowly, but they still just refuse to accept that this new person in your life could potentially be your partner. Does that mean the relationship is doomed?
I would think at that point you need to get a professional involved. It's, you know, I think therapy is great for anyone, period, just because life is crazy, right? Not because of any situation. So I'd recommend, if you haven't tried therapy, you know, try in a group where you guys all go and talk it out and how they feel. At that point, you're going to have to get a professional involved, or you're going to have a situation where you're going to have a very miserable house.
And let's be honest that this dating of a single parent, this generation, we were talking during the break about how large this generation is of single parenting.
It's the largest group ever of single moms out there. So not only, you know, do we not have to be married to have kids, we don't have to have a partner at all. And, you know, certain shows you don't have to know who your baby daddy is either, but that's another show.
Well, and I know that this has been sort of a heavy subject and serious because a lot of people are dealing with it. But I think one of the very important takeaways, though, it's still dating and it should be enjoyable.
Should be fun.
Above all, just go have fun. You know, go have fun. Don't take it too serious until it gets serious. It's just there's a time and a place. Number one question is, when do I introduce my kids if I'm interested? And it's just right before you fall in love, but you think that they're the one.
All right, Amber Neal, great to see you. Great advice as always. Thanks
Love
again for stopping by. And if you'd like to keep up with Amber, you can visit the Scene on Houston Life section of our website.
And there's much more Houston Life right after the break.